Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Bobby Patrick, Chief Marketing Officer, UiPath.
Hello, hello, hello. It's incredibly incredible honor to be here today. 11 months ago, actually, Culpreet's when we did our first conference. Started this whole series off, and worldwide we've had 15,000 people in the last 11 months attend our events, and I think that's pretty tremendous. The people on the video prior throughout our European team are some of the most amazing in the company. Culpreet, you've built an amazing team here in Europe. You know, Guy Kirkwood, one of the early ones, Boris Krumry in the audience too. We have just an amazing group of amazing people at UiPath in Europe. I'm excited because, you know, I get to spend a few minutes here, and we're going to move pretty quick, kind of setting up today and accelerate everything. I'd like to start off first with my first slide on the breakthroughs that got us kind of where we are today. Two key breakthroughs, right? One, computer vision. This took the company the better of 10 plus years to perfect, right? This is the ability for robots to look at a screen and have complete 100% accuracy in executing across a multiple myriad of applications and screen types. That was preceded or followed by our design tool, right? In 2014, we launched Uipath Studio. The designer made it easy for business users, non-coders, to be able to build their own automations. Together, these two kind of form the perfect storm. One of the things that Culpreet mentioned, which is out here in the back, is taking home a robot. This is kind of fun. There's a robot pack. These are kind of fun robots. These are robots that help you schedule movies, and I put on my glasses on so I can't read them, but get groceries and other things. More importantly, what's fun about these is you take them home and you show your kids how to use robots, right? Because democratizing RPA is not just about building skills amongst ourselves, it's also building skills and helping the youth of today build robots and work with robots. These two breakthroughs created some amazing momentum. Culpreet talked about some of the numbers of the company. I wanted to show you the growth of our number of customers. Today, UiPath adds more than 6 customers a day. We'll end the year at about 2,600 enterprise customers. Don't forget, we have a global community of users. If you're a small business, you can use UiPath for free. We have promotions now for academia. But this is pretty amazing. What I wanted to show you here, because one of the first reactions that our customers have when they see this, go, oh wow, are you losing your ability to be responsive? How are you on support? How are you on helping us grow? That kind of is can be worrying. Well, the data is showing some pretty great results. One is that almost 80% of you are telling us within the first 6 months, your investment in RPA is meeting or exceeding your expectations. That rarely happens in the world of technology, right? That kind of speed to that kind of outcome. Second, Net Promoter Score. So now many of you are filling out the NPSs that go out monthly. As of last month, we were at 67, just 1 shy of Apple and 2 shy of Amazon, which is pretty amazing. What it shows then is that the technology is delivering amazing outcomes, and our company is doing a great job of scaling, right? You'll hear from us throughout the day about the number of employees that we're adding in the company, our training programs. You'll meet our Chief Learning Officer today. The commitment we have to not only scaling and driving RPA and driving the use of AI within automations, but also building a company, you'll hear Daniel later, building a company that's there to serve you and to help make you successful. So what's really going on here? This is not a normal, just everyday new set of technology. There's something bigger going on, right? You know, since the dawn of kind of the computing age, technologies to change the way we work. And there's a number of different phases, if you know, depending on your age, perhaps you can kind of plot yourself of where you are in this. But there was the early days, obviously the PC era, PC in every home and office, the launch of the GUI, the launch of the internet and the World Wide Web, a web-first strategy, then a mobile-first strategy. And then in 2007, 2008, 2009, we all know about the cloud-first era. In all of these eras, what was unique about them is they really disrupted the conventional thinking of the prior era. If you think about the cloud era in 2007, 2008, 2009, the ability to get infrastructure at extraordinary cost advantages over prior years, the ability to access servers and storage in the cloud, the ability to do that via a command line interface, all of these things came together to make the cloud a perfect proposition, often driven by businesses, by the business line, often driven by developers, and IT following along. Well, there are three things happening that's setting up the next wave, the next era that we all are part of here. What makes this era so special? I was talking to one partner this morning who said, we were kind of reminiscing about the days of Sun Microsystems and a few others where there was a lot of energy in the early days. She said, it's just like that now. We're all having a lot of fun here because customers really love this. We're all part of something very special. And so computer vision, as I mentioned earlier, was sort of that breakthrough that took years and years and years to build and perfect, that now has kind of come together and come to life and makes robots so accurate. We all know about the AI winter and all of the almost decades of trying to invest in artificial intelligence and find ways to kind of become more sophisticated through learning, deep learning. And then the idea of being able to really optimize processes, not re-engineer entire processes, but optimize within a process. These trends are all coming together right now and forming what is the next big era of our time, and that is the automation first era. This is a mindset, right? This is not a technology shift. This is a mindset shift. This is a C-level and a board-level conversation, much like cloud first was. If you remember, boards would say, what are you doing to move to cloud? There's extraordinary cost advantage. There's extraordinary agility advantage. They are pushing companies, and C-levels as well. Some of our largest customers who are putting RPA in their annual reports. That's right. We have customers now who put RPA and UiPath in their annual reports, are talking about an automation-first mindset. Everything we do in a company, we should think about how can we use automation? How do we put automation first? And this is a key part of today's discussion and today's theme, because when you think this way, the epiphany hits. You all have probably been in the room too, right? Where you start off and you go, okay, we've been trying to do automation for years and decades, and there's been all these tools and BPM and a variety of different technologies, even OCR and others. The difference, though, is because of that design tool, right? That ability for a business user, a subject matter expert, to do their own development, and the robot having perfect computer vision, we've unlocked a whole new capability that drives speed throughout a company and the ability to think about automation anywhere in an organization. So the only thing that's holding all of us back in this room right now from going even faster is conventional thinking. No different than the time of cloud first, when cloud first became, or mobile first. In conventional thinking, we think about traditional tech software development. You give me your requirements, I buy some software, I then install, I then do the development, send it back, you test it, tell me it worked or not, didn't work, and that cycle is kind of conventional thinking. API to API for everything, which can be expensive. Business process reengineering, business process outsourcing. In an automation-first mindset, the driver is business-led. It's business-led enthusiasm. I don't know if you've been in these rooms like I have with customers when they realize that robots do the work we hate, right? Robots, do the work nobody misses. And people get excited and they smile and it brings them great joy. Automating through the UI, it's fast and accurate. Business process optimization is looking at tasks within a workflow where there might be a bottleneck or a lot of routine kind of rote activity and automating that. The economics of robots, obviously. And then the ROI. Our research with our customers shows the ROI averages 6 to 9 months. The ROI in traditional conventional thinking is 1 to 3 years. This is why what really got RPA going was the CFO. The finance organization was where, as most of you know, is where RPA and innovation in finance really took off. Why? Because CFOs don't like to sign the checks, right? They don't really want to approve the CIO's request for some big spend. But they see the productivity benefit and they see the outcomes that come from RPA, and they were driving it. So this is an automation-first mindset. Together, we should educate our customers. We should help them think about automation first throughout their entire organization. If they do that, they can achieve orders of magnitude in productivity benefits. We see that today in finance and accounting, for example, in tax, where robot adoption is getting quite mature. When McKinsey talks about global productivity improvement from robotics, this is sort of that wave. You can take the productivity and you can invest it in your organization. You can invest it in data science. You can invest it in the next generation of skills. One CFO told us, was a great phrase in a meeting. She said, when I look at my organization, if any employee is not doing data-driven analytics all day, that's RPA. That kind of thinking is revolutionary. It's thinking automation first. Job satisfaction increases. This is probably one of the favorite, right? This is the best thing when you see people get excited about working with robots, right? This is what the trend is in Japan, which is amazing to see the speed of growth of RPA in Japan, partly to address an aging population, partly to address high suicide rates. The human workforce grows. The World Economic Forum came out with the research recently that said the net addition from robotics will be 60 million jobs created. Yes, there will be a skills shift. And yes, we have a responsibility to try to help people shift their skills. You're going to see a dedicated session today with Tom Clancy, our head of learning, and the commitments we're making around our academic alliance, where we're committed to training millions of people, both upskilling older workers and training in universities and academies and the youth and workers of tomorrow. And this is the measurement that people talk about the most. People sometimes say, hey, what's the big outcome that is most important? It's capacity created. This is the one we hear about in public sector. This is the one we hear about in finance, in insurance, in healthcare, and others. It's with robotics and with UiPath, how much capacity can I create? So automation first is a mindset. It's a mindset against conventional thinking. And when you begin to understand the enormity of it, the outcomes can be tremendous for your entire organization. There are three key pieces. Daniel will go in detail around three key visions in an automation-first era. The first one, a robot for every person. Some of our most advanced customers, who are what we call in phase 3 of their journey, where they have pipelines and they're implementing RPA throughout their organizations, are thinking about a robot for every person in their company, for every employee, for every professional. The second one, open and free collaboration. Once you have the power of Studio on your desktop and the power, the ability to automate things around you every day, then can you share that automation? At UiPath, you could share automations using Go, and in the future in our private Go, in a private implementation of Go as well. But we're not making money on that automation, right? We're about making it easy, democratizing your ability to share automations amongst yourselves within a company, or between companies, or between organizations, or in the case of Japan, to better society. Open and free collaboration is commitment number 2 towards an automation-first era. And finally, robots getting smarter. Robots learning skills. You'll hear this today over and over, the skills. This is where AI comes in. This is where we talk about going from mimicking humans to augmenting humans and putting humans in the loop. I'm excited to announce today the rollout of 6 automation-first immersion labs, 2 of which will happen by the end of the year, Bangalore and Bucharest. London will follow, New York, Seattle, and Tokyo in the second quarter of 2019. These are labs that every single one of you are invited to. Every single one of you can come to these labs, be a part of working with us, working with our partners, and creating automations. The Academy Live that Kulpreet spoke about that was yesterday, we're bringing that to your offices. If you want to host 100 employees and train them on how they can use robots and build automations, we will bring the laptops in, we will set them up, and we'll run the entire course for you in your company. We'll do the same thing in different cities, around different events. It's a really great thing. They bring in all these laptops, they come push them all in, they set them all up. 2.5 hour session, people are building robots. They can go home at night and continue building them. They can start their journey on Academy and earn diplomas. We're going to make it really easy for you to educate your colleagues, to get them to be RPA professionals, to build digital era skills, and to use Academy. So automation first, Immersion Labs, you'll hear more and more. In fact, Boris Crumry, our Chief Robotics Officer, is a sponsor behind these. He's based here in London, and he's, he'll personally be at all of these frequently. We announced also yesterday at our Partner Forward a $20 million investment to 2 key funds. So one of the things that's important, we have a mixture of customers and partners in here, is we want to help our partners build their skills. We want to help our partners be successful. We want to help our partners work with you to do amazing new things with RPA and AI. And with that, we launched 2 new funds. A venture innovation fund that's tied toward technology partners, and a partner acceleration fund, which is tied towards implementation partners. And we already have a list, a queue building of opportunities to go and use these funds. This, by the way, this $20 million commitment is through 2019. I want to talk about one example that, we'll have full of examples today, but one that I find especially exciting. I personally think it's great to see in public sector the adoption and the embracing of robotic process automation. I was at one customer in the US that's a large US agency. They had 30 employees come in. The fastest employee at downloading what they called artifacts raced a robot. The human downloaded 2 artifacts in 15 minutes. The robot downloaded 17. The entire room of 30 government workers screamed and clapped. Thank God, we no longer have to do that again. That's the enthusiasm and excitement that we want to see. Now, at Department of Works and Pensions, they have their own immersion lab. It's called the Intelligent Automation Garage. And they started earlier this year on their quest towards automation throughout DWP. And the first project, one around new pension claims, was addressed at solving a backlog of over 30,000 claims. They went from concept to deployment in 12 weeks. They now can deploy a new robot in 3 minutes. With 12 UiPath robots, they cleared the entire backlog in 2 weeks. These are the kind of stories that you're going to hear about today. These are the kind of stories that get me really, really excited. Today they have 50 robots and 30 automations in progress. And Sean Williamson, quote, "Our experience suggests the return on investment is around 15 to 1. And this is in public sector. And that's just awesome. I added a screenshot here from a LinkedIn post. What I'm trying to show is the enthusiasm that you all are feeling, that we see and that we feel. How often does someone post on LinkedIn and talk about a project they just did in IT and tech and the return on investment? I don't ever see that, really. Here's one from a few weeks ago from a company called Change Healthcare. Launched my latest UiPath bot. Estimated savings is $1.1 million a year, and it's scalable, so more clients are added, the savings go up. Can't say enough about how much I love UiPath. This is the excitement that we're all part of. This is what the automation first era is all part of. This guy, Will, built this robot on his own and did amazing things for his company, and he's thrilled. Again, a robot for every person. I looked at our customer base from 2018 to figure out where are the uses of robots and automations today. About 40% are in finance and accounting, tax, and AR, AP. Small amount of sales and marketing, a growing amount in HR. HR's really popped up in the last 6 months. HR onboarding, HR admin, and HR administration. Supply chain, actually, in Europe, particularly in France, was a big one for us right now. Legal, I think we have some 30 robots in our legal department alone today as well. And then shared services, I'm sure you all are familiar with. Went ahead and looked at the next 6 months into 2019, and here's how it evolves. The number of automations actually goes up 8-fold over 6 months. So the pie is much larger, but the distribution is becoming more in the front office. I saw a pretty big surge in call centers and customer service, and in IT services as well. We have one Fortune 20 where their first automations were all in IT services and in network operations center monitoring. So what's exciting here is that the opportunities throughout your company, throughout your organizations, throughout your clients' companies are tremendous, and they're all-encompassing, every single organization. I have robots in marketing. We have robots that put our Google AdWords up on Google Ads for us. Something that took humans 10 to 30 minutes takes the robot 3 minutes. Translations that come in from our 30,000 plus new contacts every month all happen via robots and are routed based on Google Translate. So how I want to kind of summarize this then is one of the unique advantages of UiPath, one of the reasons that we're growing so fast, one of the reasons that I think is so critical, is that we're actually the only company that can address, the only platform that can easily address both the front office and the back office. Front office automations are often called attended robots. Back office automations are often called unattended robots. Whether you know it or not, robots can be managed by a single orchestrator across both front office and back office with UiPath. That can't happen with a single other company's platform. There are companies that are niche on front office and attended, and there are companies that are niche on back office. So we're the only company that can address 100% of the requirements, 100% of the opportunity to help companies go automation first, and 100% of the ability to help companies accelerate everything across every single organization. With that, I want to say thank you and enjoy the day. Thank you very much.